Pledge of Allegiance. Good job. All right, Lori, can I get a roll call?
Here.
Here. Here. All right, so we'll start with presentations first. I would like to recognize and present certificates to the Ludlow Youth Football Midget Team and to Ludlow Youth Junior Cheerleaders. I'd like to say that Ludlow is a small city with a big heart, and our youth programs prove that every single season. Tonight we're excited to recognize our Ludlow Youth Football Midget Team and our Ludlow Junior Cheerleaders. You make our community proud, not just because of wins or trophies, but because of your sportsmanship, teamwork, and the way you represent Ludlow every time you step on the field or take the floor. Thank you to the coaches, volunteers, and families who pour countless hours into supporting these kids. You're building confidence, character, and community. Congratulations on a great season. We're proud of each of you. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to present certificates to each team. I'll read off the names, and I'll have the coaches and the team come up and join me at the front as I present your certificates. Let's start with the LYM cheer junior team. Would you like to come upstairs with the team? Yeah. Do you want to just go ahead and come up? Yeah, come all come up. Okay. Read off the names.
All right.
All right, next we'll move on to the Read Ready Ludlow grant check presentation by Tom Haggard and Jenny Watson. Okay, Jenny. Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is a check to the city of Ludlow for $12,000. You should have already gotten it. That does include an innocent package website for Read Ready, which is live. It's readreadyky.org. So I just wondered if someone could take a photo.
We got Jamie back there taking pictures. We can send it to you.
We just pull it up. And we want to, we would kick things off, I think, December 13th at the tree lighting event is where we'll get his name registered. So thank you.
She wants to check back. Was it,
Next, we have recognition and presentation of Kentucky League of Cities Certificate of Completion for City Officials Training, Level 1, to Councilmember Julie Terry Navarre.
This was a 6-month program, so that dedication level needs to be recognized. That's all you're recommending?
Lori, would you please make a note that Councilmember Abigail Miller is absent tonight for the next agenda and vote on whether or not it's excused? All right, the next item is to approve the meeting minutes for October 9th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes for 10/9/25?
I make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes from October 9th.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion passes. How did I miss that? Okay. Sorry, I missed an agenda item. We have another presentation by Amanda Peters, Director of the Northern Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy on the Law Enforcement Navigator Program.
Yes, hi, thank you so much for having me this evening. So my office is a regional effort by Boone, Kenton, and Campbell Fiscal Courts. And so those are my board of directors, the judges, executives. So essentially I work directly for the counties. But I am here tonight just to represent Kenton County this evening. So last month we launched our Law Enforcement Navigator Program. And so what I'm here tonight to ask for is your local city opioid abatement dollars. And so we're asking for 2 years commitment. Probably last fall you would have received a couple years worth. And so I'm not asking for that full amount. So we would have to get the amount from KLC. And so they're asking for 2 years as a pilot program. And of course, there's a provision in the interlocal agreement that you can cancel within 60 days if you choose. And so what this would do would be provide a police social worker for your city. And so where we're at in Northern Kentucky right now, With the 4 new ones from Kenton County, we have a total of 17. So across Kenton County, the only cities that are not on board at this point in time are Ludlow, which I'm here tonight. Hopefully you join us. Park Hills and Bromley, they plan to pass in December. And then Fort Wright, which we're still in conversations with. So the rest of the county is being covered either by the county police social workers or Erlanger and Independence have their own. When we look at the 3 counties, those 17 cover all of Boone County, and then in Campbell County, the only cities that are not covered at this time are Fort Thomas, Wilder, and Southgate. But hopefully we'll be able to have them join as well. Campbell and Boone did similar kind of formulas to do that, and so that's what I'm here asking for tonight. And so really what we're doing is just taking a public health approach for better public safety. And so our police navigators will be able to access the CAD reports. They'll be able to take officer referrals, community referrals. They'll be able to work with the school. And so they're also able, with the opioid abatement statute, the way it's written, is to also address mental health issues. So anything that comes through dispatch or through a community member or a referral, that would be an emotional crisis, domestic violence, and there's been some cases there, elder abuse, food insecurity, anything that it's even linked to the social determinants of health, whatever would be able to be qualified under that statute. The statute through the state is 15.291 that lays out the different requirements, and within that, which of course you would want your city attorney to look through, but we do have opinion from the county attorney is that there's one little word in there under number 5 is that says or mental health issues. So this does broaden the scope from just substance use disorder overdoses. I can tell you that what we've done in our region over the last 3 years is reduce overdoses, fatalities significantly. Around the state this last year, we've seen about a 30% decrease, but in our region, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell, we've seen a 45% decrease. And we can correlate that directly to expansion of treatment, of course, naloxone and Narcan access for anyone that would want that. I've heard some different cities talking about buying the naloxone for your cities, but you don't have to do that. You can get it free through my office. You can get it free through the health department. So I'll encourage you to maybe spend your dollars elsewhere. And then we've also seen the expansion of our diversion, deflection, and dismissal programs throughout the region. And so that contributes to that. So what we're doing here is just expanding the deflection and diversion here. And so the aim is to really move those folks from the criminal justice system to the healthcare system or the community-based system. A lot of the things are coming from housing and not necessarily folks that have criminogenic behavior, but do find themselves with law enforcement encounters due to their addiction or mental health issue. That's it in a nutshell. I'm happy to take some questions.
What did you say Bromley and Park Hills decided to do?
Yes, so Park Hills doesn't necessarily get dollars themselves because it's based on a formula of overdoses, EMS runs, how much Narcan was put out into the community. So they get a smaller amount, and that is automatically rolled up to the county. And so they'll be able to join without a financial commitment because their dollars automatically went there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mention a cost?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact dollar. The numbers I have from KLC are from 2021, 2022. And so what the county is asking for the numbers of 2025 and 2026. I've not had much luck from KLC, but I know KCO has been trying to get these numbers. Hopefully you guys, your finance, the city clerk, city attorney would have those dollars, but just the 2 single years, and this would not include the new Kroger settlements. This is the prior settlements that have came down.
And the way that the interlocal agreement is written is we turn over our opioid abatement money. So it's the amount that comes through is what's paid into the program as the price of the entry to the program.
What does that cost today, or that amount today?
I do not know.
20-something thousand. It's in the 20-something thousand.
20-something.
25,
A year?
26,000. I don't know if it's a year for the 2 years. It seems like it'd be yearly. It might be per year, but
It
that
might-
money will come straight in from the state and go right to the county. So we want to manage the money. The county judge exec will manage the money for us.
And it's money that we can't spend on anything else. It has to go towards this kind of program. So either we start our own, we don't use the money, or we piggyback on them that have already started the infrastructure.
Correct. And again, just to address the cost is tied directly to whatever comes in. So there's no, the way the agreement is written, there's no risk of us being stuck with anything.
Just net zero. And what the counties have committed is, even with the cities of Kenton County coming together, it barely pays for about one position. The cost about a navigator is about $120,000. So the county has committed to filling the financial gap of the one navigator, and then plus added 3 more.
I would say the only negative to the whole thing that I can think of is in 2 years, it's only slotted for 2 years. So 2 years, if the county doesn't pick it up or they dissolve or whatever, each city is going to have to make a determination whether or not they want to continue on their own, or whether they want to go into some other group to finance it. But you know you have at least that access for 2 years.
I do know that Kenton County is committed to this. They will carry it on, and so what they're asking for the cities, they're a little bit hesitant to commit the money, so just do a 2-year pilot program so we can get some data. We know what we're seeing through dispatch is about 85% mental health, substance use issues coming through, and then when we look at our county jails, we're seeing about 90% of the folks that are there have some sort of mental health issue. So we're, again, trying to divert those folks from there, get them to the different programs that they need, which would be helpful for them.
So what are our next steps?
You sign the interlocal,
That's
sign
something-
the interlocal agreement, and then we move forward. And then what'll happen is we'll go to our county, they'll set up training with the officers and things like that, and we'll be full swing.
I do believe I know there's 29 active cases. They started taking cases about 3 weeks ago. They are working with a family in Ludlow. I'm not sure what that case is, but when I asked for the active cities, just about everyone had one. I can also tell you that Kenton County is committed. If you do have an issue and you choose not to move forward tonight, if there's a case that definitely needs the help, the county would step in, of course. And also, even if you choose that you would like to be part of this right now and then it's not quite working, again, you have that provision to pull out. I will address reporting. That's been an issue folks have been interested in. We haven't gotten clarity yet from the commission, Opioid Abatement Commission, to what the county could do the reporting. I'll be doing the reporting for all the cities. And so through the statute, there are some different things that you need to track. How much Narcan has been given out, how many connections to housing, how many connections to reentry services, how many connections to employment services. Because at the end of the day, we want to reunite families, get folks healthy, and get them back into the workforce if they need to be. So we would be able to, if you do have to log into the portal, we can provide technical assistance. Amy Martin, my assistant director, handles that part. But we'll be creating the reports and we'll be able to give to you all. But the hope is that we can just log into the portal and upload those. And if not, you might have to upload. We just haven't gotten clarity, but that's the goal for reporting.
Like for me, other than the negative that you mentioned, 2 years from now could be different. It sounds like it's a win for the city and family.
There's a resolution adopting the agreement,
Yeah.
so we'll be able to vote
Yeah,
on into that.
it sounds like it's a win.
Yep, amazing.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, let's move on to staff reports, beginning with Fire Chief Mike Stewart.
Thank you, ma'am. You have my report in front of you. The only highlights we really have, we did get a grant for a thermal imaging camera. I talked to several vendors last Thursday and Friday, so we're working on being able to pick one. And then the Halloween hot dogs and candy went really well. We gave out 600 of the hot dogs. We had 4 recruits graduate recruit class November the 1st. Questions?
All right. Thank you, Chief Stewart. Now Shane Hammett with Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things on here that you guys have in our report if you have any questions at the end. We are starting leaf removal right now, so any resident that needs leaf removal, just call the city and we'll get you scheduled in to get those picked up. If you guys haven't seen it yet, there's a speed bump that was installed on the 500 block of Oak Street. Just be aware of that. Slow down, definitely don't hit that one fast. We ran over it with the dump truck and stuff, and it kind of hurts. So definitely slow down.
You're welcome.
It's doing its job essentially. Anything, unless you guys have something else on there that Any other questions about it?
On picking up of the leaves, if someone calls, do they have to take them out to the street?
Yeah, we'd like for them to, we can't remove them from your yard or anything like that. They have to get them out to the utility strip or in the parking space. If you know you're going to be cleaning leaves, like over the weekend or something like that, just call Public Works or call the city, and we can set out plans for no parking and right in front of the house or whatever, so they can blow it all into a parking spot, and then we can come by, Monday morning and pick those up.
Great. Thank you, Shane. Jamie Code with Code Enforcement. Jamie West with Code Enforcement. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. I did want to start out by mentioning we had a very successful fall cleanup this year. So we did bring a lot of trash off the streets, and we filled 2 large dumpsters and several other piles, as some of you folks are aware. So I would like to point out the folks that made this possible. That was the mayor, Julie Navarre, Paula, Steve Chapman, and of course Shane and his team were always very involved in prepping the space, and then obviously the cleanup afterwards. So thank you everybody for working the event and making that happen for the city. Did want to point out that this is an ongoing focus in the world of code enforcement with exterior treatment, which is considered protective treatment, which is a international property maintenance code, which is a 12-month process for the most part with chipping and peeling paint within the city. So I did want to mention something that caught my eye that was successful this year. We had 5 business fronts that were painted as a result of code enforcement cases being opened on those properties. So 5 of those businesses have been painted. There'll be more in the upcoming months, but I think our business front looks a lot better because of the fresh paint. Obviously, it's going to be a continued focus throughout the winter months, and obviously this will give residents ample time to plan accordingly for these type projects with chipping and peeling paint, and of course the sidewalk. The sidewalk cases are constantly being opened, and we're always finding new opportunities on sidewalks in disrepair. So that's going to be an ongoing process as well. So questions for me on anything that you have in front of you there? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. All right. Police Chief Bart Beck.
Good evening. You guys have my report. I would just like to kind of reinforce what Ms. Peters already brought to you. I think everybody's kind of on board with it, but the importance of this program, the police department and the fire department, we get dispatched to a lot of things that are really outside of our wheelhouse. If the fire department can't take them to the hospital and we can't take them to jail, we're kind of at a loss. And the Navigator program can really fill in that gap and help some people out. So I don't ask people to come give presentations very often, but I thought this one was really important. So other than that, it's been a pretty busy month. I provided a couple links in my report. Shane went to a meeting. I'm surprised he didn't touch on it because it was a pretty interesting meeting that he provided me information on the traffic flow within the city and some of the speed issues that we have in the city and where it's at. If you go to that link, it's actually color-coded on the map of the city with all the streets, and it'll tell you what street actually has a speeding issue and what streets don't, and what the maximum speed is within the month of July. Was it September? I thought it was July. Anyway, I guess within the month of September, for example, maybe the 500 block of Oak Street, that map will tell you what time of day the fastest car was and what the speed was, and then also what the slowest speed was. I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised that our average speed is around 25 miles an hour. And this is done all through basically the GPS that's in the car already.
OnStar and cell phone data.
Yeah.
They got installed.
The only thing the system doesn't do is it will not tell you about stop signs, whether or not people run stop signs. So that was pretty interesting. If you get a chance, go look at that link. Of course, they were trying to sell us a subscription. I included the price for that. I think it's a little bit high. I don't know that it's needed, but if you guys want to buy it, you can.
The chief, on that, I went to that link and looked at that, and I saw the street. It doesn't surprise me, I don't think there's a lot of speeding from what I observed. What I observed is two things. Yielding on red, turning right on red, they yield instead of stop. I see that a lot, and then I see a lot of running the stoplights. When it turns yellow, I observe a lot of people speeding up.
Speed up instead of
Turning
slow
yellow
down.
and running through. By the time they get there, they really need to stop within their middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
So those are two problems I see.
yeah. I would agree with that. Let's see. So after that, we have the police DART, which is a. Forgive me, I don't remember what DART actually stands for, but it's basically a software program that will allow us to go almost paper-free. It will track things like our tow logs, our building checks, special area checks, stuff like that. It is integrated into the CAD system. We can run our policy through it. We can run evidence collection through it. The evidence collection's really a really nice feature of it because you can actually take the MDT or the laptop in everybody's car out of the car onto the scene, and you can actually log the evidence right then and there into a temporary evidence locker, which means it'll timestamp and date stamp that piece of evidence. Currently, you have to write that on a piece of paper and then come back to the office and enter all that into the computer. So, and then put it into a temporary evidence locker and do all these other steps. It really speeds up the process. And unfortunately, this day and age, when you write something by hand, sometimes people don't believe you, but when it's computer time stamped, you're more credible when it comes to court. So that's a pretty good system.
I have a question on that.
Yes.
You've got a good system. Since everything's Motorola driven, does Motorola have any programs to provide that?
So at one time they did. I think that Motorola has gotten out of the software business and just into the hardware business, because I do know that CAD, when county got the new radio systems, most of us went with Motorola, some went with Harris, but we went with Motorola. And I know the computer consoles out at county are Motorola, but they don't use Motorola software. They use Tyler Systems software. And I know DART speaks to Tyler Systems because our CAD is integrated into DART. So it works. I don't know if Motorola still does that or if they kind of got out of that. I don't have an answer for you on that. Other than that, I just listed our training and kind of some other things of interest that are going on, the investigation reports and the school resource officer stuff. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
You had mentioned the contracts for towing.
Oh, yes, yes.
And you mentioned we don't tow a lot, but you did say that we tow, if I remember, 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
That seems a lot to me.
Well, so out of those 3 or 4, usually I would say at least 50% of the time it's going to be DUI, and then the other one is parking, overtime parking if they're blocking a driveway or something like that. So they do add up, but we're nowhere near the 2 cities that I provided, Taylor Mill and Erlanger. We're nowhere near those numbers. Mostly I'm looking at doing away with a list and getting a single tow company to where we know exactly, if somebody comes in, we can tell them exactly what the fees are. We don't have to worry about, well, what company towed it. It's more continuity, I guess you could say.
That makes sense.
So,
All right, thank you, Chief Beck. All right, next up is the mayor's report. So I have a few updates. Recently, I was able to obtain QuickBooks access to our accounting software for oversight. User permissions have been documented, and the quarterly reviews are planned. The treasurer resignation in transition Steve Bodie's last day is tomorrow, 11/14. Interim coverage is planned. And what is her name, Kathy? Patty. Yeah, Julie. And she's with our current firm that we use for auditing, correct? Yes. Okay.
What's her name again?
She works for Chamberlain's Audit. She's a contractor, so the way it works is if she works for us temporarily, so she's actually part of this past year's audit. So if she does any work for us temporarily, next year's audit,
She won't be involved.
So the position is now being advertised? Or
Yes.
yes, the North
Yep. I was just getting to that. You're fine. Yeah, so NKADD is contracted to conduct the treasurer search. Also want to announce the community food drive. There's been a community-led food drive to support local needs that is taking donations through today. The distribution is Saturday, 11:15 at the community center from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'd like to thank Jordan Smart and Nikki Siababa for their initiative to coordinate the wonderful event. Also, coffee and cocktails with the mayor will be Wednesday, November 19th at 6:30 at Second Sites. All are welcome to attend. It's an informal conversation with the community. Light snacks are provided. Also addressing the fiscal year 2025-26 budget amendment that was created by myself and Scott. And I just wanted to thank Mr. Chapman and Ms. Guthrie for their input. Council was invited to meet if they would like to have a better understanding of the budget changes. This change supports the ADA improvements, business district upgrades, the amphitheater, riverfront improvements, council chamber accessibility, roof replacement, digital sign logistics, and also a new dump truck, as well as needed corrections for administrative input inaccuracies. I wanted to address the committee pauses. We've paused while the city attorney and I determine a compliance structure. I would like to say that I think council should consider potentially using the caucus meetings for the Finance, Public Works Code and Parks discussions, so all members are included. I believe it would be an excellent use of the caucus, and all questions could be asked at that time. I'll let Paula address the Christmas parade planning a little more, but it is now currently a mayor-led initiative while committees are paused. Paula and Julie are assisting with logistics on a volunteer basis. All spending and approvals are going through me. Also for the website revamp, Scott and I met with KLC for a website redesign presentation today. It would move us towards a modern, user-friendly site. I'm very excited, and we're looking forward to that. It would be a February 2026 completion for that time frame.
When you said you got input from Mr. Chapman and Ms. Guthrie, did you have a finance committee meeting?
No, they just came in and looked over what we were doing and gave us some input.
Okay.
Why? What are your concerns?
Because you have discontinued.
I know, but we also put out an email inviting everyone to come in and have a discussion with us.
Fair enough.
Okay, great. All right, moving on to, well, we have paused the committees, but if anyone would like to address or provide an update that prior to when the committees were paused, I'd appreciate that for finance or parks or code enforcement.
No, we haven't met since the last.
Okay, great. All right, so we'll move on to the city administrator officer's report.
A lot of it is rehashing some of the projects that we've done in the past. You can see from the minutes, or the notes, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Like the mayor said, I met with her many, many times over the last few weeks over this amendment of the budget. I do want to make a comment because I've heard a couple of people, I want to say they speak negative about amending a budget or reconciling a budget. So just so everyone is aware of how this works, in city government, all cities everywhere, especially in Kentucky, will reconcile or amend their budget at least once throughout the year. It's just a common practice that happens and is recommended by your auditors. So to be surprised that a city is amending or reconciling a budget is silly, because some cities, depending on the size, will do it 2, 3, even 4 times, depending on the level of spending and grants and those things that come in. Generally in the past, I've only done it once a year. I usually do it in May, just to kind of come final. I've actually talked in the past year about it. I think I need to do it more. So it just happened to work out with some of the ideas of spending and some of the things that this mayor wanted to do. This was actually the best time to do it. before we go into the first of the year if we're going to get some of these things scheduled. So that's why we're amending it now. So when we go into the first of the year and we start setting up some of these things to happen, we're not so far outside the budget. And that's why this amendment and this reconciliation is going to happen now. I do also want to stress that we haven't had any meetings, and my office is always open. I sent out this information. There's no gotcha moments. There's no anything. I'm very clear about. I personally don't want to spend any money. If it was me, I would spend none of it. I would save it and keep moving forward because you never know what's going to show up. Isn't that right, Mr. Woolbaker? And I'm going to say that because what's not in my minute or in my notes that I do need to bring up that I just found out today or was reminded of today is that in 2023 we entered into an agreement for a grant process for the engineering costs and stuff on the Riverfront Commons. It was our portion is $154,000. We paid in 2024 $77,000 or $74,000 and some change, half of it. The other half is due in February. I was just reminded of that earlier, that our $77,000 is due in February. That is not in this amendment, not in this whatever. Generally, it wouldn't be a big deal because we have that extra money. When it would come up, I would work that into the amendment. On this particular situation now, with this spending, it is going to be a little more unique what happens come February and March and how we make this work, just due to the structure of this budget. So I do want to make that very clear that that $77,000 is going to come due February and March. If I can push it to June, I would want it, but that is something that will come up later outside this amended budget, but we will catch it on the last amended budget we'll do in May, June to come true in this budget. So once again, when this happens in May, June, and we amend again, nobody be shocked. It's common practice, and we got to do it if we're going to be true to the audit and be true on the budget. You can see on the list, you guys can't see out there, there's several highlighted items and stuff that are worked into the current budget and aren't too far outside the realm of what was already worked in ideas that we had or have money for. There's also some unhighlighted things like the roof, business district improvements, $35,000 for the business district improvement, murals and sculptures that we hope to work within the city, beautification grants for the businesses to utilize. A lot of that is new and will be put into the budget if you guys approve this. That will be worked into the amended budget to reflect as so there's nothing hidden or secret there. I also agree, a lot of people get wrapped around committee meetings and stuff. I'm not real big on having everybody come to committee meetings because everybody gets tied up in it and you don't have an hour meeting. It ends up being 3 hours of just talk and you don't do anything. And that's why I've never been excited about having a bunch of people in there. And Steve's a big talker. He likes to talk. And Abby, when she was there, they talk a lot. I mean, am I wrong? Our meetings would end up being 2.5 hours. So if we do more people, we'd be there 5 hours and get nowhere. With that said, I think best case going forward is do a COX meetings. They can sign checks, or whoever can sign checks outside of those meetings that have open discussions and conversations. And we can have the treasurer, whoever that may be at that meeting, to answer those questions. And that way, anybody and everybody can ask. Because, like I said, this budget, there's not any hidden secrets in this budget. It just isn't, no matter what anybody wants to think. So I think the open caucus is the way to go, in my personal opinion. Last thing on this thing, we are looking for the new treasurer positions. It's very specific to 5 years of municipal experience. It's not to say that if you're in county you couldn't do the job, but we really want somebody that specializes in municipal experience. The Northern Kentucky Ag District is going to job search, interview, and do the whole thing. They'll probably give us our top 2 or 3 people they recommend hiring, and it'll be up to you guys to choose from there. The other thing you'll see is is on the agenda to approve a full-time community liaison, community coordinator position. That person is important to our city going forward because they won't just be running our community center, but they're also going to be helping us with our events that we're going to utilize the parks more, do a lot more events throughout the city, and this really does take something that's more full-time to set up and work. Instead of relying on you guys, the council, to get volunteers and get money and do all stuff, that person will be tasked with all those things and just ask for your help in assisting them. So, you know, I think we're at a spot in this city where we really need to have that person who really want to, you know, keep up with the other cities and what they're doing. Any questions on any of that?
I have a feeling. Second or third time we've amended this budget this year.
No.
First,
It's the first time.
you approved the budget. You approved the budget in.
As far as community input,
Okay, never mind.
is this what this is tonight, or are we going to have a,
Yeah,
was there an
Well,
announcement
it's
prior
just
to
like-
this,
What's that?
what we were doing here, what all you had on this list?
Dave, if you recall, the past 2-3 meetings, we've talked about this budget amendment coming forward.
We just saw your list.
I understand, but we
I mean, that's all
we would be
pretty basic.
presenting it at this meeting. We did let everyone know that.
By
at
doing
this
that,
meeting.
they didn't know really till yesterday, well, probably till today, what all you're trying to do. And I'm not opposed to all of them, don't get me wrong. But I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. I don't know where we suddenly get money all the time to do certain projects.
Dave, I will say that over the past 5 years, there's been a focus to save funds because we were at a point where we were basically, we were about to be dissolved, correct? Like, we could have been dissolved as a city.
I would debate you on that.
So-
but that's another time.
The money was saved, and now we have that money in savings account, about 4 months' worth that would cover our expenses for 4 months.
Right. Do I
We
have to
also
vote
have a separate account.
when it comes time to
I'm still
vote?
talking,
Okay,
Dave.
thank you.
We also have funds, about $850,000, that we could utilize to put towards these. Now, I will say, from my experience and from talking with people around town, they want to see some changes happen. They want to see some things that make their quality of life better. And so
Well,
we'll talk about this more,
I agree, I want to see some
but this was
changes.
discussed in previous meetings that this
I want
amendment
to
was
see
coming forward.
new business brought in.
Dave, it would be polite if you wait your turn when I'm finished speaking, then you can speak. But
Here
thank
we
you.
go.
Hey, Dave, there's one, over the
Yeah,
past,
I finish.
over the past
Or am I-
3 years.
Am I been, can I finish?
Are you,
Oh, I thought you were
he
finished.
thought you were finished. Go ahead, Dave, your turn.
Well, you know, when it comes time to vote, do I have to vote individually on these things or all in one?
No,
It's
these are
all-
just informational for you to know.
This is informational right
Yes.
now.
What's highlighted is already in budget, is that correct, Steve?
Yes, so,
The unhighlighted items,
well,
sorry,
community
everybody
center
Steve,
coordinator.
Scott. The highlighted items are already in the budget. The unhighlighted items.
I don't
for
believe we need a
expenses.
full-time city community. I think what she
Dave,
does,
we'll get to that part in a moment, but you're getting deep into the details
Never mind.
when Scott hasn't even finished speaking on his update. But we can get into those details in just a few minutes.
can you and I ever have that one-on-one that I've hoped to have with you?
Dave, I'm open to a one-on-one with you.
Let me know, because you weren't.
We
You weren't
we
willing
opened the
before.
one-on-one for anyone to meet on the budget, and that was absolutely open to everyone that wanted to come and
Well,
speak
then
with us.
Okay. I was hoping for better.
I don't understand what that means. What do you mean by that,
Well,
Dave?
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it? Or does that meant to hurt me?
Go on.
Are you meant to insult me?
Goodness gracious.
Just for some clarity,
Is that meant to insult me, Dave?
Is what?
Was that meant as an insult to me?
You seem to think everybody insults you when they differ with you.
No, you just,
I've seen you, some
you
of the-
obviously did, Dave, and thank you so
Oh,
much.
Sarah, come on.
Scott, please finish your report.
okay, so just for some clarification, because we kind of got a little off the radio channel there. So when you amend the budget, you're saying there's going to be a change in spending, there's going to be a change in what you're doing. Whether it be the grant come available, or forward we didn't know was there, or we had to buy more cars or whatever, you're always going to amend it because your spending's not going to match your original budget. And it could be because of tax money, it could be because of the flow. Now, you can disagree with why I'm spending on and all those things. And I'll tell you, even though, and I've said this, if it was up to me, I wouldn't spend half the money just because that's who I am. But there's a lot of things in here, like the fence for the baseball field for the kids to play at Carlisle. You kind of need a fence if you're going to do it. The ADA ramp, it's $25,000. It's a lot of money, in my opinion, for an ADA ramp. But everybody in Memorial Park says they need a ramp there. There's an ADA button out there that goes there. There's movie screens and things for a movie in the park. There's blacktop parking in Hollingsworth because it's gravel. Council chamber makeover, because everybody complains about the sound in here and all the stuff. A complete makeover of this here. Business district, because it is gloomy and doesn't look very good to attract businesses. Nobody wants to open a business in a business district that looks like a graveyard. So it's things like that. Murals and sculptures, that's one that people would like, I like it or I don't like it, but it's, it's your guys' choice. These are all things that, yeah, in total, it's a lot of money. It just is. That's the way it is. The thing you're going to vote on separate outside of this, to Dave's point, is here in a minute we're going to talk about an ordinance to change the salary or whatever to add that person. You can vote to not have that full-time, which would eliminate some of this cost, just so you know. It would take it down. But when you amend the budget, you're just giving permission to have that new amount of money spent.
I mean, I think she does a fine job down there part-time. I just don't think we need full-time.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's outside here too. I just wanted to
Thank you.
clarify.
Are you finished, Scott?
I am done, yes.
All right, thank you, Scott. There is no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. We'll have a discussion on the December business meeting schedule. So just so you know, I am unavailable on December 10th. I will be out of town in New York for work. I was considering proposing a special meeting for November 20th, but instead I would like to propose that we move up the December meeting from December 10th to December 3rd, if everyone will be in agreement with that, so that we have a little bit of time, because it's about 3 weeks until the next meeting. How does everyone feel about potentially moving that?
I'm fine.
You're fine with that?
December 3rd, right?
Yeah, December 3rd.
And this is not having a special meeting.
That would be not having a special meeting next week. We would just have a regular meeting on December 3rd. Megan, do you have an opinion on December 3rd?
Is it December 3rd or Thursday the 4th?
Oh, it's the 4th, sorry. I have my...
Okay, no, no issues. The 4th works for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The Thursday's fine. Dave, or would the 4th work for you on December?
December 4th, yeah.
Okay. Paula? I'm good. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and move the regular meeting to December 4th at 7 p.m. All right. Next up is Resolution 2025-15. Oh, I did. You're right. Sorry. Next up is public comment. Anyone wishing to address council, you have 3 minutes. Please approach the podium, state your name and address, and please remain respectful.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Dolman. I live in Ludlow. First of all, thank you all for everything you do. Super excited about the new speed bump on Oak Street. Thank you. Very excited about the new trail coming in as well. I do hope there is some sort of agreement, contract, MOU to ensure the future maintenance of the trail. I know there's the initial upfront cost, but there is safety, maintenance. Obviously, it's in a flood zone. So just an aside on that. But I'm here to talk to you today about the crossing at Logan's Way and Elm Street. Cross it every morning and every evening with my son, and it is consistently blown through. It's very dangerous. I reached out to the state about this. I understand it's a state route, so the state actually wrote back to me and said a request of this nature needs to come to us from the local jurisdiction for us to act on it. Please reach out to the city of Ludlow with your concern and have them talk to us. So I am reaching out to you, the city of Ludlow.
Who replied to you?
Matt Blankenship. Thank you. And I've got his number if you need it. So yeah, just my hope is for us to be proactive rather than position ourselves where there's an accident or something tragic. That's kind of my worst case scenario here. Secondly, with my remaining minute and a half here, as your constituent, I was a little disappointed recently to just see a lot of social media dialogue. I feel that this is the place for everyone to have these conversations, to have this engagement. But when it's taken to social media, it's really undermining the amazing work you guys are doing here for our reputation. It dissuades people from wanting to come here. It puts us in a position of just not being a well-respected community, and that's damaging to us. So even as far, I looked at the ordinances coming into this meeting today to understand my role in the meeting. There really aren't a lot of them. Actually, I'm accustomed to not being able to engage during these types of public comments. So that was a little surprising to me, I would say. I didn't see anything about approaching council. So I think there are things that can be put in place with the city attorney and to better protect probably the reputation of Ludlow. I love it here, and I hope that we can continue working towards respectful dialogue with each other. Appreciate everything you guys do. All of you, I know public sector is not for the faint of heart, so thank you, appreciate you.
Just real quick, so a couple of years ago, we reached out to the state, and it's probably more like 5 years ago, like times, trying to get bump outs on those crossings, and we were adamantly told no. Just to be clear, and I think I still was full-time just police chief at the time when I requested that. Well, I will absolutely reach out to Matt again and see, because I think there should be a bump outs there, and I taste it now, because it is dangerous.
Yeah, and I would say the rectangular rapid flashing beacons are really the direction folks are going.
Those are the ones they told us no on too.
Okay.
Yeah, because we wanted something, and they stated some kind of research that said that in congested areas, blinking signs cause more deaths than because you would look at the blinking sign. But I'm adamantly going to reach back out to them.
I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
On that point, on that area, we have increased the yellow strip right there to kind of take away more parking and make it more visible in that area too.
Just a quick update for council. So Will Weber, South Bank Partners. Hard to believe it's been 6 weeks since we had an outstanding groundbreaking. But just wanted to let you all know 2 big things. The project is on budget and on schedule, which is always nice to hear. Unfortunately, we're entering into that time of not only just winter, but the flood stages that will rise here over the next couple months and impact that area. So I'm here to tell you all. I'm not committing to an exact date like I did last time, because it's a little under the gun when I told you it'd be a groundbreaking by October 1st. And we had the groundbreaking on September 30th. So this time I'm going to tell you May time frame. So in May we should have a ribbon cutting for the section of the Riverwalk from Adela to Hooper Street. And as an additional project scope, we're working with the Pruitt's team and their clearing to actually raise that canopy a little bit to match what we've been working with Shane and his team from Adela to other side. Sorry, I was trying to think of the ball field that the Reds Community Fund worked on. So we raised the canopy there so you can see the entire riverfront from Ludlow Memorial Park. So excited for that piece. And to hit on one quick thing that Scott mentioned, the RAISE grant, that it's hard to believe, that was in fall of 23, that we were awarded a $4 million grant that was spread throughout all of the communities to cover the cost of the design engineering piece. And the local match for Ludlow in particular, to give you a high-level overview, it was a $750,000 to cover the cost of all the design engineering. Ludlow's portion of that is about $150,000. So a nice benefit for the feds to cover that portion. And we are in the midst, from South Bank Partners perspective, working with all of the communities as the General Assembly enters into the next budget session to prioritize sections of that Riverwalk for construction so we can continue to move that project forward. So, thank you all. I didn't bring anything with me this time.
Is there anyone else wishing to address council?
Hello, Brad Banks. I was in regards to the crosswalks and everything. I was actually in another city with my daughter, and I've had the same concerns. I think the parking's a little close. You had to stand out in the street to be seen. And we were in another city, and they had basically PVC pipe with flags on it and a 5-gallon bucket with little holes. About 6 flags each side, real easy, cheap. Wave it, because right now, I mean, I basically have to stand out in the street, hold my daughter back, make sure a car stops, and then we go across. And like what was said, they're basically slamming their brakes if they do stop for you. So that may be a good, easy way to fix it until we figure something out with the state and, tie it to one of the poles or whatever. So.
I agree. I think, Shay, we should focus on the yellow, at least the yellow striping and something to
Yeah,
kind of block.
we have done that. I'm just afraid of that. I mean, it's a great idea. Kids around here love to take stuff and drag it around town.
It's cheap though, so I mean, yeah. It was a cheap little PVC pipe. I understand. I thought the same thing, but.
Sir, before you step away, could you please state your address?
475 Hazen Street.
Thank you.
Thank
That's just
you.
a
sorry.
point of
Yeah.
order. No,
You're good, thank you. moving back on to new business for Resolution 2025-15.
Would you like to do 14 first?
Do we have a 14? Yes, then let's do 14.
Resolution number 2025-14 is appointing Mayor Thompson as service representative for the City of Ludlow with Planning and Development Services. Mayor Wright's resignation left a vacancy there. This is simply replacing Mayor Wright with Mayor Thompson. Steve Chapman will still be the alternate. He was the alternate under Mayor Wright.
All right. Then moving on to Resolution 2025-15. Oh, we have to vote on the rest? Sorry. All right. All right. Lori, can we get a roll call? Oh, sorry.
I'll
Make a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Lori, can we get a roll call?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Ms. Guthrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
No.
Ms. Gracious?
Yes.
All right, the resolution 2025-15 passes.
2025-15 is the next resolution on for new business. It is a resolution declaring property as surplus and authorizing the sale and disposition of the property. This is a standard resolution for the sale of any property owned by the city. This is for fire hoses, which are being listed as surplus to be sold.
All right, can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve resolution 2025-15.
Can I get a-
Second.
Second? All right, thank you, Dave. All right, Lori, can we get a roll call?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Ms. Guthrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Ms. Gracious?
Yes.
All right, the motion passes. All right, then resolution 2025-16.
2025-16 is another resolution declaring surplus property. In this case, it is a 16-foot boat, a 1970 boat trailer, a boat motor, and an outboard boat motor to be declared as surplus property. Again, no property can be sold by the city without authorization of designating it as surplus.
All right, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass 2025-16.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Can we get a roll call?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Ms. Guthrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Ms. Gracious?
Yes.
All right, the motion passes. All right, the resolution passes. All right, resolution 2025-17.
2025-17 is a resolution of the City of Ludlow authorizing the mayor to sign the interlocal agreement for the multi-jurisdictional law enforcement navigator program. That's the program that Ms. Peters just described. The resolution itself simply allows the mayor to execute a contract for the city to exchange its opioid abatement funds from some of the opioid settlement money that the city will receive in exchange for access to the law enforcement navigator program, again, which has been extensively discussed at this meeting. The high level of that is that the county will maintain a position essentially for a social worker to be dispatched by dispatch. They will actually be with the Kenton County Police. They will be overseen by the county. We will not have any of the administrative burden. And, we can exit that agreement with 60 days written notice. And we are only signing up for 2 years, so if the program does not work, we will have the ability after 2 years to renegotiate or to exit the program.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 2025-17.
Okay, would you have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Terry Navarre. Lori, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Ms. Guthrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Ms. Gracious?
Yes.
All right. Municipal Order 2025-1 passes. Or sorry, Resolution 2025-17. Apologies. Okay, so moving on to Municipal Order 2025-1.
Yes, 2025-1 is an order of the City of Ludlow, Kentucky, amending the Comprehensive Personnel and Pay Classification Plan. This is an amendment to Municipal Order 2012-2 in order to create a full-time position for the Community Center and Event Coordinator. This is, the description of the job is attached as Exhibit A. This would be a full-time position. I believe that the pay for that is reflected in the City Administrator's report. Is that correct? The proposed pay? Is that reflected here in this paper as well?
It's in the paper.
Okay. It's also in the paper. The ordinance itself is adopting the pay plan. The pay plan is attached as Exhibit A.
All right, that's the municipal order. Is there anything to be done on that one? It's my first experience with the municipal order.
You can see an amendment of a municipal order. It would still be by a majority of council. It would still go to a vote and discussion.
And that would be tonight, or?
Yes, it is not an ordinance. This would be
Okay.
in order of council, so it would be at the same.
Okay. All right. So can I get a motion?
Well, discussion.
Discussion. Okay, we can do discussion first. Go ahead.
I do want to go back to something, though, just real quick.
Or is this discussing the
I want to go back to
position?
16. I'd like to change my vote on that. I made the wrong one.
Is that permitted to, once the vote has been passed?
Here, I want to change my vote to no.
On the vote surplus, which one?
On the 16th. Huh?
The vote surplus?
Did we vote on the first reading ordinance of 25.16?
No.
Did not vote on that?
No, we're
We're not there yet.
I thought so.
I thought you were talking about resolution.
Then I'm sorry.
No. This is nothing more than to amend the comprehensive plan, the salary pay plan.
Okay, salary's fine. I just don't want to vote for it.
No, that'll be next.
Kim, I got that.
But we do have discussion on it right now.
Sorry.
I think it would behoove the city to increase this to a full-time position. There have been vast improvements at the community center with the senior activities in the last several months since we've expanded that role. And this will allow us to have a more accurate, more up-to-date website, Facebook postings, because a lot of people will say, I don't know what's going on because we don't have things in the timely fashion. So I think this is critical for us to be able to move forward as a city and to begin to bring in new businesses. We need this type of activity.
So we're interviewing somebody for that?
We will be, if you decide to pass.
Are we just going to hand that off?
No, it'll be.
What do you mean by that, Dave?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Are we just going to appoint the person that's already
No,
in?
it's going through a process, and the NKADD will be conducting that search.
Thank you.
I think it's a needed position. I
I'm sorry.
think it's a position that we should have a full-time person doing. I think it will bring more activity, more word out around the area of what Ludlow is doing and bring more people into the town. Other cities have positions like this, and it's advertising your city, and I think that's needed. We've never had this.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Paula, do you have?
I agree. I think it's a much needed to build the activities and to build the reputation of our city and for people to see what we have to offer. And it will take some of the burden off of Laurie for all the other postings. I mean, she's got a lot on her plate, so.
Agreed. Megan, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I hope I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing, but so I hope I don't duplicate anything that anyone else has said, but I think that the position is a great way to make sure that we are making what's going on in Ludlow, whether that be community events or what's going on relative to business or caucus meetings, are out in the community, making sure that we are accessible and that information is there, as well as to be able to promote the good work that's going on throughout different community events or different agencies that are doing good work here in Ludlow. So I'm supportive in being able to take some of this work to the next level to make sure that we are able to engage our community in other ways throughout the year.
Thank you, Megan. Is there any further discussion? No? All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass Ludlow Municipal Order 2025-1.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Steve. All right, Lori, can we get a roll call?
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Ms. Guthrie?
Yes.
Ms. Terry McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
No.
Ms. Gracious?
Yes.
All right, the municipal order passes. All right, moving on to the first reading of ordinance 2025-15.
Ordinance 2025-15 is an ordinance adopting an amended comprehensive pay plan for non-elected city officers and employees of the city of Ludlow as required by KRS 83A070. It is a statutory requirement that the legislative bodies fix the compensation of city employees and non-elected officers in accordance with the pay plan. We have a pay plan that this ordinance is seeking to amend. The amendment is attached as Exhibit A. It is a number of changes. It is, of course, increases across the board.
It's just adding the community coordinator.
Is it?
Yeah, that's all it's doing. Just adding that one position with your pay scale.
This is minimum and maximum. Thank you. I apologize. We just read a very similar one that actually did increase it, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. You juked me. So this is actually, the amendment has already passed to increase the comprehensive pay across the board. This adds the position that was just voted on. And this is just the first reading.
Yeah. So we will have a second reading at the December 3rd business meeting and a vote. And next up is the first reading of ordinance 2025-16.
2025-16 is an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 26, calling for revenue of $6,012,310.81 and expenditures of $5,980,932.43. The budget is outlined in the ordinance and is available to read. It is an increase of roughly $350,000. My math is not perfect, but roughly $350,000 in the revenues and an increase of roughly $580,000 on the expenditures. It projects a surplus of $31,378.38 after a transfer from the general fund of $250,000. The remainder of it is form language, no conflicts, et cetera, et cetera. This is 2025.
It's just the
And
first
we'll
reading.
follow. I'm sorry.
So as Scott mentioned earlier, there will be an additional change to this before the second reading to include the $77,000 to South Bank Partners, correct? All right. I'd also like to mention that everyone on council was provided all revenues and expenses printouts of what we've discussed. There's also additional printouts at the podium here if you would like to grab a copy for yourself just to see. Other than that, we'll move on to announcements, starting with Ms. Gracious.
The Christmas parade is on target for December 13th. The parade will start at 5:45. Hopefully the sun will be down and the lights will shine brightly. We're encouraging all homeowners and businesses to decorate. There will be luminary kits out to local businesses. And I want to stress that these luminary kits are not just for the parade route. I would love to see them all over town, because I have a couple of people lined up to put some drones up just to get a shot from above for the night of that we're all lit up. Santa will be in the parade. We'll have the Grinch. We'll have the lighted Star Wars characters. The city will be providing hot cocoa and cookies at the plaza once the parade's over. We're going to ask that everybody only take one so we have enough for everyone. Also, we will be doing a toy drive to stuff the cruiser like we always do. There is a link to an Amazon wish list on the Ludlow Police Department's Facebook page. If anybody needs that, reach out to me. I'll make sure we get it. So I think it'll be a great night. The food truck will be here. It's a lot. But I would love to see a good crowd out. Hopefully we have great weather. And it should be a fun night.
Thank you, Ms. Gracious. Mr. Ziegler?
I'd like to ask a question.
Sure.
When are we going to resume council committee meetings?
If I can handle that.
Sure, go ahead.
There's been none of the council meetings have been keeping minutes or being run as open meetings, and they need to be.
Okay.
I'm working on an ordinance to establish a consistent time
Okay.
that can be voted on. If we don't want to hold them as open meetings, which we're required to do, and we don't want to keep meetings or, keep a full budget for the Parks Department or anything like that, that's a decision you all will have to make. But I need to write an ordinance and put it out to council to vote on it. So they are in the works, but frankly, you brought it to our attention for the Finance Committee meeting, is that our understanding of the open meetings requirements that were on the city were not being met ever. They have
Right.
never been met. So we need.
That's what I understood from information I got.
So we need to fix it, and we're going
Yes, we
to.
do.
Yep.
Thank you.
Do you have an announcement, Dave?
No, not tonight.
Okay. All right, then moving on to Ms. Terry Navarre.
Just remember, the food drive is Saturday at the community center, 11 to 4. The community has come out for this. The amount of donations it's amazing. So if you know people who need help, please send them down. The resources are available.
Ms. Guthrie, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and sorry, I may have missed it, but I just wanted to get clarification. Did we say that the $77,000 from the South Bank partners would be included in advance of would be included as part of the second reading?
That's right.
Will it or will it not?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much, Mayor Thompson, Laurie, Shane, TB&K, everybody for working to get this Zoom meeting set up. I know I've kind of been the problem child this evening to be able to join virtually. We ran into a few technical difficulties and did a little brief run of show at 5:30, but I really appreciate everyone's patience and diligence to allow me to zoom in. I'm currently in DC for a previously scheduled work conference that I had planned prior to my appointment to council, so I'm especially grateful for the opportunity to participate tonight, so thank you guys so much. I did want to ask for the Christmas parade, if community organizations are interested in participating in the parade or want a vendor table at the end of the events, what's the kind of process? Is there any cost associated with signing up, and is there a deadline for agencies to sign up?
There is no cost.
Okay.
And they can reach out to me either here on my email, in my city email, or through Facebook. We invite anybody who wants to participate. I would say if they want to set up a vendor, I need to know at least a week before so that we can map out the lot.
Got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then the last thing I had is I just wanted to give a shout out to Mayor Thompson and Mr. Smith. I know he had emailed some of the council members offering an opportunity to kind of walk through that proposed budget amendment. And since the Finance Committee was not meeting, I took the opportunity to take him up on that offer, and he walked me through that level of detail, and which I really appreciate as a new council member of what some of those changes were. And I know Mayor Thompson has been working pretty tirelessly to address some of those gaps and oversights from previous administrative errors or previous budget cycles. So I really appreciate her effort to get this right-sized first time around and to try to get those amendments so that we're making sure we've got a structurally sound budget. So I just wanted to say I appreciate everyone's leadership and collaboration on this, and looking forward to the meeting on December 4th. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you for being here as well. We're glad to have made it happen. Yes, it was a lot of work, and I thank Scott and Lori for getting, and Shane for getting that accomplished. It was a little bit of a feat, so thank you.
Yes, I can't really see you guys, but I hear you, and that's all that matters. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. Mr. Chapman? Nothing. Okay. All right. So the next item is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? All right. The The motion carries. The meeting's adjourned.
Bye, everybody.